it's me. Right, it's that time of the year for the last chance list. It's not live at the point when those of you on my mailing list will see this, so here we go. Right, where do we want? We want that. So this is the new annual, and I'm going to go very quickly through the current annual to let you know what is staying, what is going, and if there are reductions, and my recommendations on purchasing. Right, so the Bold and Beautiful, is that what it's called? Bright and Beautiful paper is carrying over, same price. The balloons are not. So Beautiful Balloons, 40% off at £13.80. The dies, can't remember what they're reducing to, but you're best to get the dies and stamp set together, or rather than the bundle. Carousel Horses, the dies are not reducing, but the stamp set is by 10% to 2070. So if you want both, get the bundle, because then you'll save on the dies. Circle Sayings is going for half price at £11.50. The Circle 2 3/8 punch, I believe, is going online, but I do not know. Charming Sentiments is half price at £11. Lazy Days, the bundle, obviously is going. If you want the stamp set and the dies, get them separately. The stamp set is going down to £16.10. Sweet as Cherries, half price at £8.50. Seasonal Branches, 50% off at £12. So if you want the stamps and the dies, get them separately. Dainty Delight, half price at £12. Hope You Know is carrying over. Handmade Hugs, half price at £9. Nature's Prints, 20% off at £19.20. Lighting the Way, 60 off, £8.80. Colour and Contour, which has been with us for ages, 40% off at £12. Sending is going, but is not reducing in price. Pansy Patch, 60% off at just £9.60. Super Cool, half price, £9.50. So Refreshing, 30% off at £16.10. Can't remember what the dies are, we'll be coming to those, but get the stamps and dies separately. The Les Shop paper, 40% off at £7.05. Stamps are 20% off at £18.40. The bundle, the dies, I don't believe have been reduced, therefore it is cheaper to get the bundle, even though the stamps have been reduced. Sweet Citrus, just 60%, sorry, is 60% off at just £8.80. Feeling Good, 60% off at £9.20. Something Fancy stamp set is carrying over. Two-Tone Floral, reduced by 30% to £15.40. Sentimental Park carrying over. Best Family Ever carrying over. Petal Park, 20% off at £17.60. Very Best Occasions, 60% off at £9.60. Apple Harvest, 6% off at £9.20. Cottage Wreaths, 60% off £7.20. Season of Chic, half price, £13. Wonderful Thoughts carrying over, but obviously not as a bundle. Regal Reindeer, 20% off, £18.40. Brightest Glow, 60% off at £9.60. Perched on a Tree, half price at £11. Ringed with Nature, half price at £11. Celebrate Tags, also half price at £11. Zoo Crew paper, 30% off at £8.20. Ribbon Combo, 20% off at £7.60. The dies and stamp set are not carrying over, so if you want them, get the bundle. Bird's Eye View is carrying over. Hey Chuck is not carrying over, but the dies are reduced, so get the stamps and the dies separately. Easter Bunny, 60% off at just £7.20. Happy Labels, 60% off at £9.20. Silly Goose, 60% off at £9.60. Taco Fiesta is going no reduction. Little Monkey, half price at £10. Biggest Wish is going at £16, no reduction. Hello Kiwi, half price at £9.50. Share a milkshake, half price at £9. Phrases for all, half price at £10. Friendship Royalty is going at but no reduction. Little Dreamers, you're better off getting the bundle because the dies are not reduced. The stamp set is at £20.70. Hello Ladybug, 60% off at £6.80. Sweetest Songbird, 60% off £7.20. Happy Hedgehogs, 40% off at £10.20. Playing in the Rain is carrying over. Everyday Thanks, half price at £11. By My Side is not reduced but is going. The Countryside Inn, the embossing folder, 20% off at £6.40. The paper is carrying over. The stamp set is not, so that's 20% off at £17.60, but the dies are staying. Lasting Joy, 60% off £7.60. Textured Floral stamp set is carrying over, but the bundle isn't. Quiet Meadow, 60% off at £8. Timeless Arrangement is going. You're best to get the bundle if you want it. Darling Details, 30% off at £16.10. Get the stamps and dies separately if you want them together. Just My Type, 40% off at £13.60. Designer Series Paper of Earth and Elegance, 40% off at £7.05. The Natural Wavy Trim is going but no reduction. Earth and Textures, there are no reductions to the individual dies and stamp sets, so if you want it, get the bundle. Courage and Faith is carrying over. Hope and Prayer is not, and is half price at £9. Places in the Heart, 30% off at £14.70. Time Together, the dies are reduced. We'll come to those. The stamp set is not, but you're best to get the stamps and dies separately. Country Bouquet is 60% off at £8.80. Everlasting Beauty, half price at £12.50. Don't know what's happening to Here's to Love, possibly online. Kindest Expressions carrying over. The Let's Go Fishing paper is 40% off at £7.05. The embossing folder is going 40% off at £5.70. The bundle isn't carrying over, obviously, but the individual items are. Supremely Awesome, 60% off at £10. It's a Science, half price 11. Construction Zone, half price 11. Next Destination, 60% off, £9.20. Sweet and Precious is going but no reduction. Ditto, He's All That. Oceanfront, 30% off, £14.70. Grassy Grove is carrying over. Wild and Sweet is going, no reduction. Stargazing Designer Series paper, 40% off at £7.05. The Holographic Trio foil paper, 10% off at £8.55. The stamp set is reduced to £12. I don't believe the dies are, but you're still best to get the dies and stamps separately. Legendary Ride is carrying over. On the Ocean, half price £11. Beside Me is carrying over. Fun on Wheels, get the stamp set and dies separately and you'll save yourself a massive £15. Stamp set isn't reduced but the dies are. Crafting With You carrying over. Enjoy the Rhythm, 60% off, £8. Brewed For You is going no reduction. Happy Birthday, Level Complete going no reduction. Inked Botanicals DSP, 40% off, £7.05. Lost Lagoon bordered ribbon is going but no reduction. Inked and Tiled stamp set, 30% off at £18.20. In the Moment, 60% off, £9.20. Layering Leaves is carrying over. Go To Greetings isn't carrying over but isn't reduced. Bottled Happiness, 40% off, £13.20. Bold Bouquet, get the stamps and dies separately. The stamps are half price at £9.50. Dies are 60% off at £10.80. Wildlife Wonder, 60% off, £9.20. Scenic Wonders, 60% off, £10. Seaside Bay 60% off, also £10. Masterfully Made DSP 40% off at £7.05. Gorgeously Made stamp set 40% off at £13.80, so get the stamps and dies separately. Vertical Blooms 60% off at £7.20. Days to Remember 30% off at £11.20. Coffee with Friends is carrying over. Marvellous Nature 40% off £15. Your Path Awaits half price £11.50. Botanical Layers 60% off £8.80. Love for You 60% off at £7.10. Sea Turtle is carrying over. Enchanted Butterfly is going but no reduction. Fresh as a Daisy DSP 40% off at £7.05. Adhesive backed solid gems 30% off at £5.25. The Cheerful Daisies are carrying over. Beauty of the Deep is carrying over. Waves of Inspiration 60% off £8.80. Artistically Inked 10% off £20.70. Prized Plants half price £9.50. Softly Sketched also half price at £11.50. Around the Bend 60% off at £9.60. Alpha Best is going but no reduction. Stamped with Love carrying over. Sketched Plaid carrying over. Berry Harvest reduced by 30%, £13.30, not carrying over. In the Stars is going no reduction. Rays of Light going no reduction. Spiral Die half price at £8.50. Timeless Tiles down here half price at £8.50. Watercolour World is carrying over. Snow Crystal goes 40% off £12. Perfectly Detailed 60% off £9.60. Right, okay, so the retiring in colours. This gets confusing. The cardstock are all going and it's not reduced. The classic stamping pad, they are all reduced by 20% to £6.80. The refills are 30% off for Sweet Sorbet, Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide, so £3.32. Starry Skies 10% off at £4.27. Orchid Oasis is 20% off at £3.80. The blends are, apart from Tahitian Tide, 40% off at £5.70. Tahitian Tide is 30% off at £6.65. Told you it was confusing. Right, the new core colours are the A4 is going no reduction, the 12x12 is going no reduction. The bundle of ink pads is reduced by 30%, so if you haven't got them, £58.80 is a bargain. Stampin' Right markers are reduced by 40% to £23.10. So again, if you haven't got them, that's a real bargain. The in colours of the A4 cardstock, the collection for the retiring is obviously going, but it's not reduced. The 12x12 is reduced to £12.60. Very confusing. Right. Very vanilla, thick cardstock is going, there is no reduction. Cellophane bags are going at 20% off, £4.20. The in-colour treat bags, 40% off at £5.70. Envelope treat boxes, 40% off at £4.50. Vellum cardstock is going! No reduction. Right, the white centred specialty 12x12, half price at £5.37. The rose gold is going no reduction. Textured shimmer paper, half price at £4.75. More Dazzle is going but no reduction. Soft shimmer 12x12, 30% off at £7.17. Distressed gold paper is going no reduction. The 2325 in colour luster, 40% off at £6.15. The in colour textured specialty paper, that's the 2224, half price at £5.12. Carrying over, delightfully eclectic 12x12, half price at £14. Earth and Elegance, 40% off, £7.05. We've done that already. Fresh as a Daisy, we've already done, £7.05. Glorious Gingham, half price at £5. We've done Inked Botanical, 40% off at £7.05. Ditto Let's Go Fishing. Ditto Lace Shop. Ditto Masterfully Made Stargazing. Zoo Crew, 30% at £8.22. The Retiring in Colours, half price. This is the DSP 6x6, half price at £5.87. The one that's continuing, so the 2325, 30% off at £8.22. Okay, Brights is going but no reduction. Subtles is 20% off at £9.40, and the other two, Neutrals and Regals, 40% off at £7.05. Gold Celebrations paper is going no reduction. Vellum Basics 20% off at £7.10. Basic Black Album is carrying over, but it is going up to £10.75. The pockets are staying no change of price. Memories and More cards 40% off at £4.80. The envelopes half price at £5.12. That's cards and envelopes. The basic white assorted Memories and More cards and envelopes are carrying over, but the price is going up to £10.75. The 3x3 is not carrying over and is not reduced. Craft note cards and envelopes is 10% off at £8.55. The Berry Vanilla envelopes are going, but no reduction. The basic white are going up from £8 to £10.25. If you want basic white envelopes, get them now. The clear envelopes are carrying over, a slight increase to £7. The vanilla note cards and envelopes are going. The white ones are carrying over, but there's a £2 increase to £9.50. Stamp Emboss powders are being replaced with Wow powders, which is a good brand, but they're going from £17 to £20 for the collections. Heat and Stick is going no reduction. Artist Mix masks is going no reduction. Foursquare is 40% off at £5.20. There are changes to the pricing on some of the other items. I've got a separate list on that. Iridescent Shaker Circles 10% off. Round and Square Brads 10% off. Those are both £6.07. Loose Sequins 10% off, £5.62. Daisy Embellishments 40% off at £4.05. Iridescent Pastel Gems 40% off, £4.50. Festive even Pearls 30% off, £4.72. In Colour Pearls, which I love, 40% off at £4.05. Iridescent Rhinestones 10% off at £6.30. Rustic Metallic Backed 40% off at £4.50. Classic Matte Dots 20% off, £5.40. Brushed Metallic Dots 20% off, £6.80. In Colour Dots going no reduction. Opaque Ovals 30% off, £4.90. Pastel Adhesive Sequins 40% off, £4.50. Gilded Leafing 20% off at £6.80. Vintage Bottle Domes 30% off, £5.25. Herringbone 40% off, £4.80. Balmy 40% off, £5.10. Balmy 30% off, £4.72. Pool Party 40% off, £4.50. Red and Green 30% off, £4.90. Night of Navy 30% off, £5.95. Textured Ribbon, Wild Wheat, Moody Mauve and Boho Blue are no reduction. Copper Clay 30% off, £5.25. Pebble Path 10% off at £6.75. Red and Burlap 30% off, £5.95. Misty Moonlight 10%, £6.75. Black and White Gingham 5.40, 20% off. 20% off Pecan Pie, £6. 20% off Sheer Ribbon, £9.40. Lost Lagoon is going. Ribbon Combo 20% off, £7.60. The Metallic Ribbon 40% off, £5.10. Golden Vanilla going, no price reduction. Silver Threaded Twine 40% off. Wavy trim, no reduction. Simply Elegant, no reduction. This is carrying over. This is carrying over. In Colour Baker's Twine, 60% off, $5.60. This is carrying over. Online exclusive, maybe, for the Circle. 20% off, $30.40. That's the inked and tiled. Monkey Builder, 50 half price at $10.50. Builder Punch, Banners Pick a Punch is going no reduction. Happy Labels is going up to $27. Half price $10.50. Half price $10.50. $10.50. $10.50. 40% off $12.60. $10.50. $10.50. £26 is going up. This is going no reduction. £23 going up. 40% off $13.60. Half price $10.50. Half price $10.50. Half price $10.50. 40% off $12.60. Going no reduction. Builder, Petal Bark Builder going up to $23. Half price $10.50. Blocks, A is going, G, I going, Caddy going. And the dies. 10% off, carrying over, 60% off $10.80, going no reduction. Half price £17, going no reduction. 20% off $21.60, carrying over, going 10% off $27. 30% off $21, half price $16, going no reduction, going no reduction. 10% off $28.80, half price $16, half price $18.50, carrying over. 20% off $24.80, going no reduction, carrying over, going no reduction. Half price $13.50, carrying over $16.50, half price $17. Going no reduction, 40% $13.80, 60% $12.80, half price $17.50, 60% off $16.80, half price $18.50, going no reduction, half price $17, carrying over, half price at £20, 60% off at £12. 40% $22.20, 40% $24, carrying over, 40% $18.60, carrying over, 40% $17.40, 60% £12, 50% £18, 50% $17.50, carrying over, 60% $13.60, 40% $24, carrying over no reduction, 10% off $24.70, half price $21, carrying over. Half price $15.50, 20% $26.40, 60% $12.80, 50% $15.50, 60% $13.10, carrying over. 60% off $11.20, carrying over. 40% off $16.20, carrying over. 30% off $21.70. No reduction but not carrying over. 60% off $14, 50% off $18.50, carrying over. 50% off the waves at £16, carrying over. Half price $5.20, 20% off $6.40, half price £20, going, carrying over 30% off $5.95, going no reduction, carrying over. Half price $5.12, carrying over, don't know, maybe online. Quarter foil, half price $4.50, raindrops, half price $4.50, stripes and splatters 40% $6.15, hybrid citrus 30% $12.70, timber carrying over, time worn type not carrying over, no reduction. Tree rings 60% off £14, twisted rope 40% off $5.70. Thank you very much, and I will see you again very soon. Bye for now.